There is a peculiar madness that grips societies in their decline, a quiet hysteria wrapped in comfort and consumption, applauding its own illusions while it slides inexorably toward the abyss. We live in such a time. If society isn't about caring for one another, defending the truth, and making life more just for people and for the planet, then what exactly are we doing? In my lifetime, I watched totalitarianism rise not merely through violence, but through the passive consent of people distracted by spectacle and soothed by slogans. It was not terror that allowed the lie to take root, but apathy. It was not jackboots alone, but newspapers, bureaucrats, and broadcasters who told you what to think and punished you if you dared to think otherwise. And here you are again, in another century, with new technologies, new tyrannies, and the same failing memory. You think oppression will come in the form of iron chains and state decrees, but it already exists in the form of systems so complex you cannot question them, narratives so normalized you cannot doubt them, and lives so algorithmically curated you no longer ask, is this true? But only, does this serve me? You have governments that speak of freedom while jailing whistleblowers, corporations that promise connection while mining your loneliness, media that claim to inform while manufacturing consent, and citizens who confuse opinions for truth and indignation for action. Truth in this age is not merely a casualty, it is a commodity. It is shaped, edited, and sold like any other product. The Ministry of Truth is not a building, it is an ecosystem. What becomes of a society that no longer defends truth? It becomes a performance, a simulation, the appearance of freedom with none of its demands. And what becomes of a society that no longer cares for one another? It becomes transactional, competitive. Every human face becomes a brand, every interaction a negotiation. Loneliness is the tax you pay for independence, and kindness the exception rather than the rule. And if we abandon justice, then we abandon civilization itself. Justice is not a luxury of the secure, it is the foundation of security. If we do not build systems that serve the weak as well as the strong, the future will be built on blood, as it always has. Look around you. There are children born into poverty in the shadow of supercomputers. There are oceans choking while industries chase quarterly profits. There are lies so polished they sound like vision. This is not dystopia. This is the status quo. So again I ask, if society is not about truth, care, and justice, then what are we doing? Are we innovating or escaping? Are we progressing or distracting? Are we building a future or erasing the very concept of one? A society that forgets its purpose becomes a machine that consumes its own meaning. It tells stories about greatness while it forgets to be good. It celebrates the individual while crushing the soul. It preaches freedom, but only to those who can afford it. The answer, my friends, is not despair. It is reckoning. We must care more, even when it's inconvenient. We must defend truth, even when it's unpopular. We must fight for justice, even when it's unfinished. Because if we do not, then the final question will not be philosophical but historical. What exactly were we doing as a society?